Hi, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda. That's not how I do my intro. Hey, hi, hello, welcome back to my channel. My name is Amanda, and this week we are going to be reading some library books. Huge fan of my local library. They don't have absolutely everything, but they are so great at what they do, and they have so much just beyond books. And today after work, I decided to take a trip up there. It is Thursday, July 29th, and over the next week, I'm going to be focusing on reading the books that I picked up from my library. Boy, oh boy, did I pick up a stack, and that's not to forget about the one I picked up last weekend, which is over there. My goal is to get 2 of these finished and to maybe figure out one of them that I'm really not excited about and just return that one, because I think that's such a great option that the library gives us, is we can start a book and then not feel so bad about DNFing it or not liking it. This one is Crescent City by Sarah J. Maas. I am not going to be attempting this one this week, but I just wanted you all to know that I do have it from the library. The other books that I picked up from my library are The City of Brass by S.A. Chakrabarty. I don't think this is going to be the one I attempt this week. Long story short, I have attempted to read this book multiple times, and I now have the audiobook and the physical book, and I'm going to be attempting it once again. I just have a feeling that I should wait until next week for this. It's a gut feeling. Can't explain anything else about it. Forget those 2 exist. Then I also picked up The Gilded Wolves. This is part of my TBR bingo for Metallic on the cover. I'm really excited to read this. It's a heist book. It's like a YA fantasy taking place in like a French realm. The next one up is The Star-Crossed Queen. Touched Queen by same author, Roshani Chachki. This is her first book, and it's not as popular, and I've heard more negative things about this book, but it's pretty dang short, and I had a spot open on my TBR board that needed to be filled, and this would fill that category, so I thought, why not pick it up now? Maya is cursed. With a horoscope that promises a marriage of death and destruction, she has earned only the scorn and fear of her father's kingdom. While Maya is content to follow more scholarly pursuits, her whole world is torn apart when her father, the Raja, arranges a miracle of political convenience to quell outside rebellions. I'm not going to read any more. I love arranged marriages. I love when women like fight back after being thrown into an arranged marriage. Next, I picked up The Never Tilting World by Rinchu Pecco. I've attempted 2 books by Rinchu Pecco. I attempted The Bone Witch, which I one day will be attempting again, and then I have read and finished The Girl from the Well, which I loved. So I wanted to try a new book by her. I've actually read the first chapter of this previously, kind of as a sample to see if I would like it. Really enjoyed it. I got it as an ebook though, and I tend not to pick up ebooks really that often, so I decided to get the physical one when I saw it today, and it would also fit some more categories on my board. Finally, the last one is The Girl the Sea Gave Back. This is oh my god, I didn't tell you what this book was about. Let's back up. This is the story of a world that isn't rotating. So half of the world is always at night and half of the world is always at day. I know the city that's always at night, we are following a girl that is like the guard of like the goddess princess person who lives there. I don't know who we're following during the day because I haven't gotten to that part yet, but I do believe it's dual POV. So the next chapter that I read in this, I should be able to tell you more about the daytime part of the world. The Girl That the Sea Gave Back. And this is like a, what's the word I'm wanting? Like a Viking-esque story about like a warrior girl, and it's very short. This says, Tova was a child when she was discovered washed ashore on a half-burned boat by the Svel clan. That was pretty confusing. I think I'm gonna read some of this and then get back to you on what it's about, because I don't know how to sum that up and I don't want to just read it all to you. Think we're gonna try a chapter, my dudes! Okay, so I've read a chapter of each book. I read the second chapter of Under the Never Tilting World because I've already read the first chapter. I've already read the prologue. I read the first chapter of this, so I'm about to start chapter 2. I read the first chapter of The Star-Touched Queen, and I read the prologue of The Girl the Sea Gave Back and like one page of the first chapter because I wanted to see if the writing was different from the prologue. This is the order of how much I enjoyed them. It's kind of hard to see because of the light. From the top, I really enjoyed The Never Tilting World and The Gilded Wolves. I would say pretty close to equal, just slightly less in The Gilded Wolves, like slightly, like a sliver, like 1% less. And then The Star-Touched Queen, I really enjoyed, but I would put this at like 100% enjoyed and this at like 99% enjoyed, and I put this closer to like 80% enjoyed. And then The Girl the Sea Gave Back, I just don't think is for me. And I'm gonna return it to the library, and that's great. I'm gonna be attempting to read these 3 books over the course of the next 2 weeks. This video is only a week though, so I think I'm going to start with The Never Tilting World, but I have to go out to dinner now. So when I come back, I'll make the final decision because I might instead try to start this one because it is a lot shorter. I also really liked this because the chapters were pretty short, whereas this, the chapters are very long. They're each about 20 pages, which is long for me. So I decided when I got home last night that I was going to pick up The Never Tilting World by Rinchu Pecco, and I read about 70 pages last night. And all I wanted to do was keep reading, but I was really tired and I had a headache coming on and I was afraid it was going to turn into a migraine. So I went to bed like really early. I think it was like 9 p.m. and I was asleep. And I woke up early this morning and still wasn't feeling well. So I decided to stay home from work and just rest because I have a big weekend coming up. I thought like, cool, I'll just stay at home and read and heal and start feeling better. No, I ended up making a list of all these things that I needed to do around the house, like clean my bathroom and buy some fruit from the store, and I did all of that. And it's 3:30 now and I'm finally finished with all of my other like miscellaneous tasks minus stuff that I wanted to do for my online shop. So I decided to sit down and do some reading, and I read about 20 pages. I'm now on page 89 and I like can't focus, and I'm so mad that I feel like I used up all of my energy on doing things that had to be done, that I can't spend it on doing things that I want to do. So I checked on my online library and they actually have The Star-Touched Queen by Roshana Chachki, which is upstairs, so I can't show it to you right now. They have the audiobook for it. So I decided to borrow it, and I think what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna listen to that while I take some pictures for my Etsy and upload some new things, and that'll be really good because I'll get a start into that book. I'll get to do some reading. I'll get to still listen to an audiobook from the library, but I don't have to sit and try to focus and just like be mad at myself because I'm not able to focus on what I want to be focusing on. Okay, what is this book? What is this book? I just made it to chapter 7 and I'm so at a loss for this. Things are just happening in this book and there's no motivation for any of them. There's no build-up. There's no pauses. One positive I can say out of that is this is such a fast-paced book. Like, I am 18% through it. I'm on page 65 and there's so much that has happened, but none of it felt real or realistic. We're following this girl named Maya, and she's been cursed since her birth, and her mother died in childbirth, but she survived, and she has this horoscope, which is something that like every child is born with, and her horoscope basically says that she will destroy the person that she marries. Her father finally is like forced into marrying her off because he's like the high ruler sultan. All of his other wives hate her. Tries to escape because she hears about it and then is forced not to escape, and then her dad tries to poison her. People show up who want to marry her, and then they all break out into war while she's like dying on the ground, and then one of them saves her, and then that one runs away with her, but before they run away she like finishes the marriage ceremony with him, so now they're married. Like, How did all of that happen in 65 pages? And yet there's like no building. I can't tell you anything about this world. This is not for me. I don't know what we're gonna listen to next, but that's not super important. I'm gonna go and make some food, and then this evening I'm going to be working on reading The Never Tilting World, hopefully. Hey, it's Sunday night. Yesterday was Tampa Day. I didn't do much reading. I think I did like 30 minutes of Words of Radiance while I was getting ready in the morning. I really haven't done much audiobook listening today. I think I did like 5 minutes of Words of Radiance and then like 5 minutes of Legacy of Steel. I've been busy cleaning and doing stuff around the apartment, but I did do some sprinting with some friends earlier today, and I'm gonna be doing some sprinting in about 45 minutes. I haven't made any progress on this book today. I got up to page 110. I'm still enjoying it, but there are definitely some perspectives I like more than others, and I just hit like about where I got 3 perspectives in a row that I really didn't care about, so it definitely made me like less interested in continuing, especially when the chapters are each about 30 pages. I tend to like short chapters. About 10 pages is kind of where my sweet spot is, so this one is definitely testing my limits, but I'm really enjoying the story. It's just a matter of I find myself zoning out about halfway through the chapters, and that's bad. I think I'm gonna be picking this up in our evening sprints, but in our afternoon sprints, I was reading this book, Gild by Raven Kennedy, which was part of my TBR bingo. I talked about it briefly, like I think I said, here's a new adult fantasy romance book, and that was it. So I am buddy reading this month with a friend, and we started it today, and what we're doing is we're reading 40 pages a day. Now, I got so addicted to this book that I accidentally read 80 pages today. I'm actually on page 85, and my friend yelled at me and was like, stop that. So I'm gonna try to talk to her tonight and be like, please let me read another section tonight. I just want to keep going. I'm so into this story, and I honest to God do not know why. Like, I got nothing for you. I mean, beyond the fact that it is beautifully written and the main character is just like a train wreck to watch, I can't look away. So in this story, it is a King Midas retelling, and we are following this girl that King Midas turned to gold, and she can still function and do everything that normal human beings can do, but her whole entire body is gold. And King Midas keeps her as a pet in his palace. She is caged up, locked up, and has to do anything that he asks. And for the most part, he just asks her to be there as like a looking item. King Midas is not the greatest of men. We do know that before the book started, the two of them have had a relationship for over 10 years. I think it was something like 15 years. I don't totally remember the exact number. Why? Why is my battery always flash when I'm talking about something good? Let's keep going real quick, see if I get cut off. They had a relationship before this, so we know that they built some kind of trust before now, but he's married. That was how he became the king of the land, and now he is trying to get other kings of the realm to help him fight a war against this king of one specific realm who has the magical ability to everything he touches turns to rot, I think it is. And King Midas, everything he touches, he can choose to turn it to gold. So our main girl is kind of being used in these bargaining chips, and King Midas is taking advantage of her in a way that he, when they were younger, said he would never do. So it's just, the writing is good. Raven Kennedy like really is doing a good job with the writing. Like, I just want to keep reading it, and it's addicting. And like I said, our main girl is just, she's so relatable, but she's also just a mess at the same time, and you're rooting for her, but you also want her to get free because she is, battery died. Okay, where was I? So our main girl is obsessed and in love with King Midas, and like she doesn't want to leave his side, even though she is a caged animal in his palace and she is like this idol that he shows off to other people. She is in love with him and just wants more of him and doesn't want to leave him. Like, she can't even think of escaping him because there is nothing else besides him. And so I really feel like I'm just reading the story of a girl who has Stockholm syndrome and is gonna slowly realize that he's not that great and eventually just kind of go batshit crazy and kill him. I have no proof of any of that, but that's what it feels like to me, and I am so excited about it. It's been a few days. It is Tuesday. I think I last spoke to you guys on Sunday when I had just started Gild. Let me go get it for you. So I just finished Gild by Raven Kennedy. It's Tuesday. I read this book in 3 days. I honest to God would have read it in 1 to 2 days if I wasn't doing it for a buddy read where we were supposed to be reading it in 6 days, but I loved this. And yesterday I ended up ordering book 2 and 3 online. They're coming tomorrow. I will be starting them tomorrow. Book 4 comes out I think in May of 2022. I will be pre-ordering it as soon as it is available for me to pre-order. I loved this book so much. Like, oh my god, I love this book so much. My favorite genre of fantasy is dark fantasy. I have always loved dark, gritty, torture, bloody fantasy books. They are my favorite. I can't tell you why. I think something's wrong with me, but they're my favorite. So I don't know why I never connected the dots that I would really, really enjoy a dark fantasy romance. But I loved it so much more than just like a regular fantasy romance. Please, I need more dark fantasy romance recommendations down below. So I already told you what this book is about. It took a weird turn in the second half that I like 100% was not ready for or expecting or anything like that, but I still loved it. I definitely don't think it deserves 5 stars. I feel like it's definitely closer to like a 4-star in quality wise, but my enjoyment was so high the entire book that I like couldn't deny it a 5-star. So I rated it a 5-star and I'm putting it on my favorites of the year. And I definitely see that it's problematic and it's got issues, but the writing was so good and I really liked our main character and I really loved pretty much everything that happened in the book. I feel like the thing is, while there were problematic elements in the book, it was so obvious to me that the author wrote them to be problematic. Like, she wasn't trying to be problematic. She wrote them as bad things and was trying to say that. And even though our main character maybe didn't realize all of them by the end, I have so much hope for her that in the next 2 to 3 to however many books there are going to be, that she's going to grow and become so strong. And I'm just ready for that. Yeah, this book has like a 3.7 on Goodreads, and honest to God, fair enough, but I loved it. And if you like dark fantasy and fantasy romance and you want to find a weird combination of the two, so my goal today was to finish that and to finish Words of Radiance, which is the audiobook that I have been working on for months now. There was some stuff at work that was kind of unexpected that happened that made me be in meetings for like 6 hours today, which meant that I did not finish Words of Radiance. I think I have 3 hours left where I'm at. I just finished the last interlude, so I'm gonna try to listen to a little bit more tonight, but I'm just gonna finish it up tomorrow and not worry about like putting pressure on myself to finish it. Honestly, I am enjoying it so much more the second time, even with that like weird pause in the middle where I waited a few months and didn't read any of it. It's just a really good book. I do think that me personally, I prefer The Way of Kings to Words of Radiance. I know that a lot of people, this is their favorite book in Stormlight so far, but yeah, I just love The Way of Kings. I love the struggle that Kaladin overcomes specifically and that all the stuff he has to go through in the book. I think Words of Radiance is so great for expanding and building the world, but there's just something about book 1 Kaladin that like, amen. So then I'm also still reading The Never Tilting World. It's downstairs. I'm not gonna go get it. I think I'm past page 200. Honestly, I put it down so that I could read this. And I know this vlog was me talking about library books all week, but I failed and I read this because I forgot I was supposed to read this week. So today and tomorrow I'm gonna be picking that back up. I won't be finishing it though by tomorrow night, that's for sure. And then Thursday I will be going on to book 2 of this because there's no stopping me. Honestly, I might start reading it tomorrow night before bed. I'll be keeping up with that. I'm not in love with it anymore. There's one POV that I really like, and there's 4 POVs in total. So the other 3, it's just really hard for me to get through them. And then they each are like 30 pages each. So that's like 90 pages that I have to read in order to get to 30 pages that I'm interested in. So I have contemplated DNFing it, but I don't feel like the book is bad enough to DNF. But like, books don't have to be bad for you to DNF them. They can just be unenjoyable to you. But I'm really struggling with that idea because I've already DNF'd 2 library books this week. In the grand scheme of things, this does not matter. That means I need to update the board, right? So I need to take Gild off the board. I haven't done any of these things on camera with you all, but I think after I make dinner, I'm gonna sit and watch a TV show and possibly do an Instagram break. So if I do both of those, I will film myself doing it. Also, I wasn't gonna tell you until the book came in, but it is what it is. It won't be here until possibly later this week or next week. My book club sat and chatted and we didn't want to actually move on to A Wise Man's Fear next month. So we picked a new book, lots of discussion, lots of great options out there. So we decided to read, you know what, I'll show you when it comes. Surprise. Keep watching, you'll see it at the end of this video. But I'm gonna leave A Wise Man's Fear here, and then when I finish the other book, I'll just know to take this out instead. Finished Words of Radiance yesterday? Yeah, it was yesterday. And I really haven't picked a new audiobook. I love Words of Radiance. It's the sequel to The Way of Kings. It's the second book in the Stormlight Archive series. The first time through I rated it 4 stars. The second time through I rated it 5 stars. It's really funny. The first time through it was my least favorite of the 3 that I had read, and this time I still don't like it quite as much as The Way of Kings, but I definitely like it a lot more than Oathbringer from the first read. Now I'm about to reread Oathbringer, and it might go up too. I will be rereading Oathbringer in September and October, so you won't be seeing it the rest of this month, but soon. Brandon Sanderson has this way of like taking absolutely everything away from his characters and bringing them down to like their base needs, and then making them realize that they are strong enough to do the things that they need to do. And I think that's just such a great skill set, and he does it in this book and he did it in The Way of Kings, but he did it so differently, and it was just great. Finally decided to DNF Under the Never Tilting World. I don't know if it'll be forever, to be completely honest. I was just so confused with all the different POVs and what was going on, and it was a lot more book to go through in order to finish it, and that was that. So I did make it 45% through that book, so it does count towards bingo. I was using it for Author of Color, and I ended up using Words of Radiance instead of Cinder for book that I pushed off. So I haven't taken those off the board, but I'll do that later tonight, and I'll bring you with me. Hello, it's Saturday. I meant to finish up this vlog yesterday on Friday, but I've been busy. What have I been busy doing, you ask? I've been busy reading this book. This book arrived this week. No, back up even farther. I started book 1 this week, read all of it, ordered book 2 and 3. Book 2 and 3 arrived, and then I got 300 pages into book 2. I just lost my spot. That's a great feeling. So there's really nothing more for me to keep doing in this week's reading vlog, because I have some really exciting fun stuff that I'm going to go through with you all in next week's reading vlog. I am going to be doing a challenge for the week, and so I just need to start that video as soon as I finish this bad boy. I took Eat Ice Cream off the board. Don't worry, I will be removing one of those. I thought I only had one, so I messed up. I don't have any bingos. Nothing else has changed since I showed it to you. This was fun, even though I didn't end up reading many library books this week. It was still really fun to hang out with you and do this weekly reading vlog. I love weekly reading vlogs. They're so much fun. I love watching them. I love filming them. I love editing them. I love going back and rewatching them. They're great content. Thank you all for watching. I appreciate each and every one of you. You're great. You're You're awesome. Let me know down below what you're currently reading, if you're enjoying it or not. Let me tell you all, I am loving this so much. In case I've never said it, you should subscribe because I release content every Monday and Friday. If you want to stay in touch and watch those videos, that'd be great. I have a really fun video coming out this coming Friday, and I'm excited to show it to you all. I don't remember how my outro goes, but until next time, I'll talk to you in the comments. Bye!